I'm Ethan Sloniker, Bikeworks powered Donnell Suzuki, 250B, 450B, Schoolboy 2, and you're listening to Over the Bars.
Hey folks, Mike Garrison here, co-host of the OTB Over the Bars podcast. Hey, if you guys like what you hear and want to hear more of it, head on over to patreon.com/overthebars. Visit us on our Patreon page. For a few bucks a month, we've got different tier levels set up. You guys can donate a little something to keep us going. Got a little prize package for everybody that donates as well. We talk about a little bit of everything from motocross to RC cars to anything in between. You want to be featured on the show, get some stickers, get some swag, all that good stuff. Head on over, patreon.com/overthebars.
Keep going, Mike. You got another minute to fill.
What?
Yeah.
Another minute?
That was 56 seconds.
No.
You want me to top it off?
Yeah, go ahead and top that off for me.
Okay, so patreon.com/overthebars. Donate, pledge, pay, whatever it is that you want to call it. You're helping support the Over the Bars podcast. We have bills to pay. We buy things. We make this podcast better every single episode. And by being a pledge, not only do you get free cool stuff from custom stickers to shout outs to neat stuff like you just heard out of Ethan Sloniker. Ethan pledged $10 a month, and look at him. He's starting to show off. So patreon.com/Over the Bars. That's our podcast. Myself, Mike Garrison, tonight in studio. My sister, Courtney Staton, sitting to the right of me. Like I said before, we're going to keep it fresh. We're going to keep it hot, and we're going to keep it popping. This is the Over the Bars podcast, episode number 5, which is fitting because that is the, in Spanish, Cinco. And we're only a few days away from Cinco de Mayo. We've got beads, we've got cervezas, we've got the disco ball going, the strobe lights are popping off. We're making it happen right here, live in studio, just because of you, for you, the fans, from my heart, from Michael's heart. This is the OTB podcast, episode number 5, with the one and only Courtney Staton. RC cars, motocross, BMX, other cool stuff yet to be disclosed. We're working on getting more awesome guests, more everything. All right, let's zoom forward. Here we go. OTB podcast. Mike, anything you want to hype?
Be like Ethan
Sloniker. Number 119 on the Donnell Suzuki. Come on, you're the ad-lib, man. Hit it. He wears fly gear. Fly Gear.
Brought to you by Fly Gear.
No, we are not brought to you by Fly Gear.
No, Ethan Sloniker.
Ethan Sloniker, brought to you by Fly Gear.
He's the man. Yeah. He's what's keeping us from living under this studio table.
You can't raise a family under a studio table.
You can. It's just an ugly family.
With that being said, go to patreon.com/overthebars. That's our Patreon link. Pledge that money. Keep it coming in the door. Oh, I'm an idiot. Josh Hudson just called me on my way over here. He's going to pledge.
Yes!
I'll be looking for his pledge here in my inbox ASAP. As soon as possible, he said.
How about that? Thanks, Josh.
Probably on the way in. It probably registered. This was a lot longer than 2 minutes. I didn't realize that.
How did you not realize that? I struggled to get through 56 seconds.
I know.
They're tired of listening to us talk about this.
The intro's right around the corner. I just don't want to kill it, only for it. Okay, look, here's how much time we got to fill. Are you ready?
We're still filling time?
Yeah. Hey, whose friends are helping us here? Come on, you know the intro. What kind of friends on the internet?
Kayaking friends, duh. Kayaking friends.
Every day, America Online is making it easier for people to live, work, and play.
Hey, Dan, ready for the game? I'm just finishing up here with my new kayaking friends.
Kayaking friends on your computer?
Yeah, I just got America Online.
OTB, OTB,
And now for the ceremonial cracking of the LaCroix. Yeah. Mike, you go. Okay. And mine now. Hold on, stand by. Literally cannot start the show without that.
This week we have a blackberry cucumber, also known as mûr pepino.
You're not only fluent in French, Spanish, and American, but you do it well.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All aces.
You think that's how you say that? Mûr pepino? I like this better than the pamplemousse.
Well-
already. It smells better.
Really? You know, our guest of the show here, you like that, don't you?
That is nice.
Yeah. Our guest of the show, she not only studied very little Spanish and some French in middle and high school, she went to France once.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to study? Or just to get LaCroix? LaCroix.
Well, even though it's actually, if it was actually French, it would be Le Croix.
LaCroix.
Le Croix. But because, like we've talked before, it's an abomination of la, which is Spanish, and then Croix, which is short for St. Croix, which is where this water comes from, is not St. Croix the island, but the St. Croix, Wisconsin River.
Fun facts.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, not really. I mean, other than the fact that it's naturally essenced sparkling water, and it's delicious.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how psyched are you for tonight's show?
12.
Wow.
I put it there. 12.
That's next level.
Totally.
How, why? Tell me why. You know what? Tell me why, Michael.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Like what?
We have a lot to talk about, referring to last week's Supercross.
Yes.
We have, you're the one that always goes on rants, and you're angry, and you have a lot of frustration
Hey,
you need to let
you know
out.
what? Before we start going on anything else, on Sunday morning at Kingsville for the state race,
Yes.
I pull off of the track from practice. Mike grabs me by the arm and says, "I'm on your team." And I'm so confused. He says, "Your practice was an absolute disaster." It was the 250A practice.
It's true.
There were
It's true.
There were 11 250A entries and probably 30 guys in that practice.
Something along those lines.
How do you explain that?
You know what though? I don't even know the guy's number. It wasn't all the guys that looked fast that bothered me. It was the one guy. There was that one guy.
There's always the one guy.
Yeah. But I figured it out because it was the A-B practice, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that he thought B was for beginner.
Oh.
Oh, you think I'm kidding?
No,
Like, I think he was so new at this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what. But he was nice enough when one of your fellow A riders did fall down. He stopped and picked up his bike for him.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
Such a gentleman.
Doesn't justify the fact that he was in the wrong practice.
And a scholar.
Yeah.
Both gentleman and scholar.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said on the intro, with us in studio, the one and only from Journal BMX, a BMX Narrative. Is it just Journal? BMX Journal. It doesn't matter. Courtney Staton.
Hello. So it's actually Journal BMX, but it's been mixed up so many times now. We're just trying to get something solid. So our website is bmxjournal.com.
Courtney, do you remember Motocross Journal, the magazine?
I do.
Any relation?
No.
Like any inspiration come from that?
No.
Are you going to have a great magazine that just tanks out of nowhere?
Possibly.
Let's not do that.
I hope not. I don't think so. Right now we're working on all of the multimedia stuff, which is the social media and the web aspect.
When I think of multimedia, I think of like videos, and you're telling me that you're going to have like a printed book?
Mm-hmm. So
I never understand how you get videos in a book.
Well, multimedia is any type of media. So that's online, which would be both web and social media, which includes, there's however many variations of social media. I'm probably missing most of them now because I'm over the age of 20.
What's your favorite?
ease of use for me is Facebook because I was around when it first started.
You're a real OG.
I'm real OG.
Were you around when you had to go to college and you had to put in what college you were
Not
at?
only that, but I actually submitted my college to be accepted. That was when I was going to Longview.
Really?
So I had to submit Longview to be accepted, and there were enough people that did that it went through.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Claim to fame, started Facebook at Longview Community College.
Wow. And now all you have to do to get on Facebook is lie that you're 13 years old.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really like Instagram, though.
Yeah.
It's just pictures. I like pictures.
You are a photographer.
I am a photographer.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of your app.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a photographer. There's a bajillion iPhone photo apps out there.
Yep.
What's the best one? Are any of them legit?
I don't know. I don't use them.
You're not an iPhone photographer?
I'm a real photographer, Mike. The best.
Are you saying my iPhone
It's
shot?
cliche. The best camera you can have is the one that's in your hand. So if that's your iPhone, then great. But I mean, E3, the littlest one, got his first big haircut today. Yeah, haircut.
Really?
I took in my full rig for that. So I was that mom that had the full rig strapped on me, taking pictures. And at one point when he was freaking out and wasn't going to sit in the airplane or whatever it was, the receptionist, we go to this place where they sit in airplanes and little cars and motorcycles.
Airplanes? To get your haircut?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I know you wish you could sit in an airplane for a haircut.
Yeah, the hair salons have come a long way.
Yeah. But the receptionist was like, "Oh, I'll take some pictures." And I just was like, "No, you won't." I'm sorry. I'm not handing you this camera that's could possibly fall apart if it hit the deck. That would be bad.
How does his hair look?
His hair looks okay.
Oh.
He had flow. He had serious flow. Long, flowy hair.
Yeah.
And
you didn't sound very confident in that answer.
I wasn't sure if it was my kid when he was done.
Oh.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Does he still look weird?
Yeah, Eric was real shocked.
Oh. It's like when you take your dog to the vet and like get them groomed and they come back with like a different haircut and they look weird. Like, you know those dogs that they shave but they leave like poofs of hair like on the end of their tail like a ball? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, but now imagine you burst that. You get kind of accustomed to how it really looked.
Oh. Really sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that you think the kid looks weird.
He's still adorable, but
yeah.
Anyway. So as far as your phone goes, or just use it to take pictures.
Okay. Don't download any apps. Don't pay the...
I don't know. There might be some good ones out there.
Okay.
Yeah, like editing. You want editing apps or actually to take picture?
No, not to take pictures. Like photo editing apps. Like, you know, like those star Instagram photos that get like 10,000 likes from no-name people?
Yeah, that's because they're paying for them.
How do you... See, people say that all the time. How do you pay for followers? I could really use a boost right about now.
I'm not real sure how you pay for followers, but you can...
You can pay for likes?
You can pay for... I don't know. Jeffrey knows.
I need to chime in right now because I have all the information to what you're looking for. Shocking, I know. So,
okay.
Number one, best photo editing app is Afterlight. Not only is it the most versatile and comes with the best features, it has a direct post to Instagram feature that's seamless. It literally never fails. There are a lot of the magazine editors where they have, or photographers, I should say, where what they do is they have, cameras have Bluetooth capability to transfer files directly to your phone, correct, Courtney?
Some do.
Okay, so what they will do is they will select a photo the same way that like the GoPro app on your phone you can watch
as you're going.
As you're going, and you can replay off of your phone without connecting the phone to the
computer.
The GoPro.
Oh, okay.
You can stream directly from your GoPro. They will select photos off of the memory stick in the camera, and then directly upload that into Afterlight. And then they will crop and adjust the color and do so on and so forth, all of the adjustments in Afterlight. So then it's a seamless, they don't have to sit down, remove the hard card, plug the card into the laptop, open Photoshop.
So
it takes like 5 to 10 minutes out of the process per photo. So that's how, like, whenever you're looking at the Transworld Instagram feed.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yes, that's how Transworld, or I should say Michael Antonovich, that's how Anton gets those prime photos posted on Instagram so quickly. It seems like everything is instant because truly he'll take a photo, and if it's super tight and he knows it, he'll just pull out his phone and
boom,
click it on the from the Bluetooth connection.
So that's how, when you watch Dungy on TV, cross the finish line, he gets checkers. Turn off your TV and you get on Instagram, boom, there's already a picture of him.
That's exactly how it works. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, because things have gotten so directed towards instantaneous information. That's just the way of the world is. People want to know. They're sitting there, sliding down to refresh. Now, to unpack the second part of your question, which was how do you get likes and how do you get followers and so on and so forth. There's a multitude of ways. There's the free way, which is really whorish. And I mean, it's when you're an Instagram whore, it is what it is. And I'm not talking about girls taking their clothes off. I'm talking about people that follow proven procedure to get followers. The number one way to get followers is to, on your profile, go into a bunch of other people's profiles that hashtag things that you are interested in or that you're selling. So like if we're, a podcast and we want to not only just like photos that are hashtag podcasts, but you go to their profile and push follow, right? But you keep your set number of followers. So let's say we have 300 people that we are following as OTB. Then what we do is we go in, follow all these random people, and then at the end of the night, after, let's say, if we follow 500, if 100 of them have followed us, we go back and unfollow all 500 of the people that we followed that day and just do that repeatedly. And you want to talk about a quick way to get followers because it's in our culture considered kind of rude to not follow someone back. So what people will do is it's like it's still the MySpace days of follow for follow, or what used to be friend for friend.
You know what the bad part about that whole thing is?
What?
We don't even have an OTB podcast Instagram.
Not yet.
We need to do that.
You're the director of social media.
We've talked about this, and I've dropped the ball.
It's okay. So then there's the second way to do it. So there are these like apps. So what you do is, and I know this out of experience because whenever I was doing rider supply, I was trying to build it as if more people were actually buying and liking my product than what the actual numbers were.
Phony.
Total fraud. And this is, I mean, you want to talk about how people get hella likes. Okay, so you literally, the best time to do it is while driving, which I do not condone driving and Instagramming.
This is all Jeff Crutcher talking right here. Mike Garris has nothing to do with any of this.
The views and reflections expressed on the OTB podcast are not that of the... So what you do is you don't look at your phone, you just swipe right, the same way that you would on Tinder or Bumble. So you just swipe, and every time that you swipe, what it's doing is it's liking those photos. So you don't actually have to sit there and go through someone's profile and double tap, scroll, double tap, scroll, double tap, scroll. You're only liking people that also have subscribed to this specific service. So let's say you download an app called InstaLike, just arbitrary name. It submits your profile to be cycled in with the or your picture, your latest picture, with the other photo pool. So then you simply go, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right. So every single time that you swipe right, Instagram registers that as a double tap. So then the photos that you are swiping right on, which they're random, you don't even know what they are, you're not looking. Those are then growing likes because they're in the like pool for that hour or day or whatever it is. Meanwhile, all of the other users that are using the same exact app, it's a collective agreement essentially. It's kind of like socialist likes. I'm going through and liking everybody else's photos. Meanwhile, everybody else is going through and liking everybody else's photos. But my photo happens to be in the pool of photos that are being liked by everybody else. So then at the end of the day, whenever you go and check your notifications, you will literally have hundreds and hundreds of likes from random people that you don't even know. And you don't even have to hashtag your photos. You just submit the photo or you enlist your account. And just all of a sudden, these random likes start rolling in. Now, the shitty part is because these people are not actually looking at your photo and liking it, they're not, quote unquote, actual likes. It's a placebo effect. So then whenever, let's say, I'm scrolling through my feed and I see Mike Garrison 247, and Mike Garrison just posted a photo of the inside of the studio here, and it has 385 likes, and you just posted it in 4 hours. Excuse me.
Ooh, LaCroix getting to you.
Like 4 hours ago. Then I'm going to be like, wow, 385 people like this photo, and it was just posted. Double tap. So then all of your followers are already double tapping, but they're seeing. Because, me, myself, whenever I look at a photo and I double tap it, I look at how many other people are liking it. I don't look at who's liking it. I just see how many people like it. So, like the last photo on Transworld, let's say it has 12,000 likes. Now, imagine if your photo has 12,000 likes. Then people are going to really, truly observe what it is about your photo. Whenever you only have, let's say, 1,000 followers, how the hell did Mike Garrison's photo get 1,000 likes? Oh, my God. He's popular. People are paying attention to what he's doing. He must have a lot of engagement from his followers. You see where this is going? So the goal is to placebo affect the people that already follow you into thinking that you're bigger than you actually are. And then the people that come across your profile that don't already follow you, they see how many likes that you're getting and they see that you're popular because people like to follow popular people. That's the gist of social media. People follow popular people. So whenever you're more popular by smoke and mirrors, people don't know that. If I don't know who you are, then I just know that you're getting thousands of likes. You're extremely popular. I want to follow this guy. He must be important. He's doing something important. And then finally, the third way is to simply just buy a profile that already has a built fan base. So like meme accounts, nude girls, tattoo pages, that kind of shit. So what they'll do is they will buy followers, buy likes, build a page, and then go and wipe the entire page clean and then sell it for like 10 grand to somebody once it reaches like, going rate for like 250,000 followers, like 10 grand. So what somebody will do instead of actually having to build an actual following, then they will buy one of these for sale deals. So let's say that we want to get a really good advertiser that says, well, we need 50,000 engagements per post in order to send you, start advertising with you. Now, the initial buy-in, sure, it's 10 grand, but then an advertiser is going to give us 2 grand per post, guaranteed 15 posts. So then you turn that into 30 grand. You see how it all trickles? It's there's an entire industry built around smoke and mirrors on Instagram. And that's just Instagram. That's not even including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever all the other ones are. That's just Instagram alone. It's the Wild West of tricking people and companies into thinking that you're actually much larger and you have a larger fan base than what's reality. Brought to you by my desperation to start a clothing company. That's where all that information comes from.
Well, I'm glad we made it through that.
Mike's irises and his eyes and his pupils are extremely dilated. I can't see his irises at all now. I think that he's still absorbing all of that.
Every time we do this too, I have what I think is just the most simple, uncomplicated, uncomplex question or comment, and I don't know where it comes from.
Hey, the answer to your question
Yes.
was I use my camera and I like Instagram.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Courtney. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's go back to talking to our guest here, Courtney. I was under the assumption that you had 10 kids, which we talked about before the show started.
Right.
But you have 2. One is a superstar BMX rider.
Uh-huh.
Eli.
Yep.
Eli Staton.
Eli Staton. I'm literally right now, you can't see this, but I'm working on his sponsorship prospectus right now.
Prospectus?
Prospectus.
Is that like a resume?
It's a media deck. Like that's literally what I'm working on right now.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
What are we going for?
Eli is on a factory team.
Okay.
He races for Full Tilt Bike Shop.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, or Full Tilt Bike Co.
Okay.
And it is a factory team based out of Minnesota.
Okay.
So that is his primary sponsor.
Okay.
There are several sponsors that support that team as well, but we are looking for a title sponsor for Eli that will help pay for his or pay for a portion of his Worlds trip. Eli is officially on the United States of America BMX team.
Wow.
Yep.
That's impressive.
He'll be representing the 7-year-old age class for the UCI Worlds Challenge the end of July.
Where's this at?
It's actually in America.
Really? Well, that turned out good.
First time since 2001.
Wow.
It's back in America.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so when we were growing up, you were a huge swimmer.
Right?
Pretty sure you were like Olympic level swimmer. Either
Not
that
quite.
or your mom just said that to make us feel better while we had to play in the sandbox and you got to play with your friends at the pool.
Maybe.
Okay. But you were super big into swimming. Eric your husband, was a motocross rider.
Correct.
How did you create a child that is a BMX superstar out of a swimmer and a motocrosser?
Well, Mike, you see, when a man loves a woman, Eli started racing on a Strider bike, which is a push bike.
Okay.
And this was actually covered in Pole magazine a couple issues ago, but that's fine. You didn't read it, so.
Maybe I did. I'm just creating confidence. I just got the bird coming at me.
But the premise is we thought we'd have a motocross racer. Eli races motocross too, for fun when we have the time, which is rare. But he got on a push bike, and I'm not real sure where. Just a whole bunch of money got put on my computer. Mike got real excited, but it's all 20s.
Making it rain.
So we got him a push bike, and Raytown BMX, which is our home track, has a designated push bike track, a Strider track. It's a little bigger than this room that we're sitting in right here, and it's got a real starting gate, which is the end of a tiny trailer, and it just drops down and the kids start and they race and off they go. So we started on that when he was not quite 2, I think.
Just because? Just random?
Because, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we were training the next, superstar 50 rider at the time. He was 1.
Okay.
And we just started going racing.
Okay.
So once he wasn't quite 3. It was a few weeks before he was 3. He would stand there on his little push bike and point out to the big track, the actual BMX track, and say, "I want to do that. I want to do that." We're like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." Well, one day Eric told him, "Well, if you can pedal the Micro Mini, which is the tiniest BMX bike they make, if you can pedal that down the last straight, we'll get you one." That was right before he turned 3. He had already been riding a PW 50 for about a month and a half at this point. So we start him on the final straight, and off he goes. So we buy him a micro mini BMX bike from Bike Stop in Blue Springs, Missouri. And here we are having a 3-year-old BMX racer.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
He got pretty good pretty quick, too.
Is he like the Austin Faulkner BMX? Would you consider him that?
Yes.
Wow, that's so rad.
There's a couple other kids in his age range in the United States that are stupid fast.
But like Austin, there's only one Eli.
Right.
There's only one Austin Faulkner.
Sure.
There's only one Eli Staton.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're passing mics here, guys.
So now here's my question. Whenever we've talked previously about the professional BMX racing series, or I don't know the proper terminology.
The elites.
The elites, yeah.
A class, AA.
Okay, right. So the kids that are going from so A class is like junior A, and then AA is like pro, right?
Right. So the AA class, or the elite class, is your I don't know. I don't know how. I wouldn't really compare them to being your like superstar supercross riders, but we'll say that they would be the equivalent of the guys making the night show.
Or would it be better to compare like AA as the Saturday night supercross racers, and then A, who are on the same track at the same event in a different class, like the arena cross farm system for supercross? Would that be a better?
I think that's probably a fairly
accurate
statement. Yeah.
I know that it's hard to just directly assimilate the two without painting in really broad strokes.
Right. You're comparing apples and oranges. They're
Right.
both round and they're both fruit.
Right.
But
At the end of the day, they are different.
right.
Now, as Eli is on his way of, because frankly, anytime that a child is a quote-unquote superstar in their sport, it's impossible to not think big picture here. Now, I understand that the kid's 6.
Right.
So
You should know that. You're his uncle.
right. So at 6, there's really a lot of time between 6 and pro.
A significant amount of time.
Minimum 8 years.
I believe you have to be 16 to be a pro.
Can you ride A?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
you have to be at least 16 years of age.
All right, so
before you
let's
can
call
turn in a
it
pro
10
card.
years. If it takes him, and let's say the day he's 16, he's ready to go pro. And my question is, are there $100,000 signing bonuses for pro BMX racing? Is there that kind of money, or is it signing bonuses? Is it race win bonuses? Are they straight salary? Are there purses? Because motocross and BMX are so similar, yet at the same time so significantly different. And the skills transfer from one to the other. And I've been a BMX fan outside of you guys going racing, because I started racing bicycles when I was 16.
Right.
And I know that the BMX racers pay attention to what is going on in Supercross and motocross. There's a lot of joint venture between the two sports. Yet the actual racing is so much different. Really, in the actual way the races are run, RC car racing is far more similar to motocross than BMX is. So how does one make a living racing bicycles, A, and B, how many people are actually making a living racing bicycles?
In America?
In just the United States.
I would say there's 5.
Okay.
And one of those is injured. He got hurt last fall, about 8 months ago, broke his back at the Olympic Training Center. I think that's correct. Sam Willoughby.
We're not fact checking.
I know. All right. So, so just in case someone who might know listens.
Yeah.
So Sam's hurt. His fiance, Elise Post, is the fastest woman in America.
Okay.
She has made a living, as far as I know, racing bicycles. Now, Sam lives in America. He's an Australian. There's another woman whose name's Caroline Buchanan. Caroline, though, is not just fast at racing BMX. She's just flipping fast on everything.
Yeah.
She's just one of the most incredible dual slalom downhill mountain bike racers.
Okay.
I watched her backflip off of a mega ramp.
Quick interjection of a question. What is bigger, BMX racing or downhill mountain bike racing?
I think it depends on who you're asking. They're sisters.
Right.
They're sister sports.
Yeah.
And I think that downhill is starting to gain momentum.
Downhill. Wah, wah, wah.
Ah.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
But I think downhill is doing a better job, maybe marketing themselves.
As a collective industry.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know enough about downhill to be able to speak on it.
I will say this much. If I go to Barnes & Noble or if I go to any bookstore that carries, core-type magazines, the first thing that I pick up is not motocross, not snowboarding, not cars, not design. Downhill mountain biking magazines are some of the most amazing publications that are put out in general as something you would put on your coffee table.
Correct.
Now, BMX, I know that that's where you're trying to come in with journal, is you want to bring that not magazine that just happens to be on glossy paper type.
Irony, it won't be printed on glossy. It'll be a matte stock.
Right, but my point is, that thin stock, just
no, it's a conversation piece, and that's what we want to be.
Now, whenever we first started talking about journal, you had...
It was over a year ago.
Right, you had a goal of being published the first issue that hasn't happened.
Nope.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into starting a magazine. Have you found yourself kind of almost segueing, or not segueing, arching away from going into print because it's so much easier to go into digital? Or have your ideas changed for what you want to print? Or,
the ultimate goal and the ultimate, I wouldn't say the end stop, but we will go to print. But as I was telling Mike earlier, we will not go to print in the red.
Right.
So right now, that's where the social media and driving up the core followers, and by core followers, I mean people that genuinely like the page because they want to follow it.
Right.
That they want to interact. Our Grands, which is USA BMX Grands coverage.
Right.
We had almost 300,000 genuine interactions with our coverage last November.
In just a week.
In a week.
Yeah. Wow.
So trying to get that actual genuine interaction and actual genuine following, not the like for like.
Right.
That's where we've really been focusing our time.
Mm-hmm.
Then bringing in advertisers, brand partners, people that are interested in standing behind what we want to talk about and what we want to promote, which is the true grassroots culture, lifestyle and families that are racing BMX.
We kind of good to know all good stuff, but before we get totally away from, we were talking about professional BMX
Correct.
racing. So, yeah, I mean, there's 6 people in America making a living.
Right.
Now, whenever you have a 6-year-old phenom, and as a parent, do you see, okay, my kid is really good at racing bicycles now. And we know that the greatest supercross racer of all time, the King, Showtime, Jeremy McGrath, came from a BMX racing background. And he really didn't start riding dirt bikes until he was, I'm not going to say 10, 12, whatever it was, but actually started racing until, a fairly older age in the spectrum of motocross. Do you ever see like an end of the track where you have to, the conductor has to hit flip the switch where it's like either we're going all in with BMX and Eli might be lucky to make $75,000 a year for 5 years?
I would say that's very lucky.
Or would it be easier to start getting more into motocross at not an earlier age, but around that prime time? See, because in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I love watching kids like Cash Vicenic race and ride. They're amazing 50 riders. But there are a lot of professional racers that didn't really even start racing motocross until they were of age to ride an 80. Now, if Eli is naturally talented at something and he can pick up and go from one thing with 2 wheels to the next, at what point, do you think maybe BMX isn't the right course and motocross would probably be? I mean, I know it would be hard to pull your kid out of something that he's amazing at and have him essentially start over. But if you're looking at having a child that's going to be a professional at something, and I know that there are probably people at home being like, you fucking idiot, he's a 6-year-old, what kind of asshole parents are, so on and so forth. But the reality is, as a parent, I'm sure that you want your kid to not have to have a normal 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 type job, because racing something is a lot cooler than showing up for work.
I agree. Now, something that's really cool about BMX and about all cycling sports, whether we're talking like track, which is the velodrome,
right,
or road racing, crit racing, whatever that would be, downhill mountain bike racing or cross country. Right now, what I just pulled up is usacycling.org, and I am looking at the list of colleges that pay kids to ride bicycles so they can go to school.
Oh, wow. Let me see this. So we've got...
one of those is here in Missouri, actually in St. Louis.
Wow. This is awesome. Brevard, Colorado Mesa, Fort Lewis, King in Tennessee.
Colorado Mesa, actually, Crystal, who is my creative director and my right hand for the Journal, her daughter Addison goes to Colorado Mesa. There's a couple young ladies here from Kansas City that have some pretty good bicycle scholarships and have done well.
I'm going to read this. Varsity cycling programs are separated into Division I and Division II based on the level of scholarship support from the school and other factors. Students considering varsity programs should look not only at the level of scholarship provided, but other factors such as academic programs, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Well, that's pretty amazing. I had no idea that there were colleges that offered scholarship programs. I mean, we're talking D1 and D2 towards...
Yeah, there's NAIA schools, I believe.
Some of these are SEC colleges.
Yeah, they're not fluff schools.
Wow, I had no idea. I mean, sure, they're not. That's still really awesome. So, okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, if you think about it,
when motocross starts offering college scholarships, I guess that's something to consider.
Yeah, and that's true. And I know, see, like it's hard to just say, oh, well, Eli's going to be a pro BMX racer. Now, number one, he has to ward off injury. fatigue, body fatigue, actual desire, because you never know.
Burnout.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that say a person's actual time window of quote unquote career is only 10 years in sports in general. So would obvious case would be Adam Cincerillo.
Sure.
Started early, maybe peaked early, and then now he's not. I don't believe that Adam will ever win another championship. He might win a couple races here and there, but whenever it comes time to go on 450s,
Right.
I mean, he'll be a paid rider for the rest of his life, given that he's healthy.
Ideally, for our kids, we want them to remain healthy,
Right.
to enjoy their sport, which, I mean, that's a fine line. How do you keep a kid enjoying it for that long? I mean, he started racing when he was 1 year old.
Right, yeah.
So keep him enjoying it so he can potentially have some schooling paid for. And by enjoying the sport, I don't mean just BMX.
Yeah.
That's what we know, and that's what's easiest. But, when we go to Colorado and he wants to go ride downhill, he slays it. He loves it.
How dare you say the word slay?
I said slay.
In this sermon.
Slay.
In this holy house, you say slay.
Slay.
Go ahead.
He also rode cyclocross.
I don't know what that is.
Cyclocross is it is road cyclists on bicycles that can go across gravel that look like road bikes in the same type of Lycra stuff I wore when I was racing triathlons.
Okay.
And little helmets, working as hard as they possibly can at total VO2 max for 45 minutes at a time.
Sounds insano-cross.
Yes, insano-cross. They're nuts. And it's in the winter.
Yeah.
And they're cold and wet and snowy. They're tough bastards.
So really the end goal is just to hope that Eli can get a college degree off of racing bicycles.
Be healthy and pay for some college.
Right. If there was to be a quote unquote end goal.
Right.
Because, I mean, I understand that. I'm sure that there are people that look at your family from the outside and think, wow, these people are taking this way too seriously. They are way too hardcore. Their kid is only 6. Who do they think they are? And because the same exact thing, I know this because the same exact thing happens in motocross.
Yes.
And whenever you're on the outside looking in, everybody looks like an asshole. Whenever you have a factory ride at 6 years old, what kind of parents, who are these teams throwing this kind of, product and money at? But whenever you are in the position of it, it's not like you guys are, going to bed every night with Eli doing press release work and being like, hey, buddy, I need you to learn how to say, I can thank my sponsors instead of saying I can't thank my sponsors. Or it's not, you're not drilling into him. Listen here, you little shit. If you don't go out and win every fucking race this weekend, we're never going racing again. Or
you've met my husband before,
yeah,
right?
I know, but it's but the point is that it's whenever you're on the inside, it's fun. You guys are having fun, and you're taking advantage of every single opportunity that's being given to you, instead of just being like, ho, ho, hum, we're just humble little bicycle racers, we don't, blah, blah, blah. The same thing happens in motocross. If I can just ask you really quickly, what the fuck is so important on your phone that you can't conversate?
So what I'm looking at,
because
you're talking about Eli being a factory rider.
The whole reason that we do this right here, the Over the Bars podcast, is so people cannot pay attention to their phones. And I feel like it is a disingenuous disservice to our listeners for you to be sitting here scrolling through your goddamn phone while I'm trying to have
two kids and 2 businesses. I'm really good at multitasking.
Okay, what are you pulling up here?
You're talking about getting shit for having a young kid on factory team. Well, Eli was 5 years old and an intermediate, and he was asked to join his past team. Mm-hmm. And we were told he would be part of the factory team. They put him on the factory team.
It's like a support ride.
The factory team, the factory team is their factory team. Okay. Now, there's different levels of factory teams. Some teams are paying for everybody and flying their whole families places. Yeah. Some teams are, gear and entries, and some teams they call themselves a factory team.
I'm with you.
So Eli was a 5-year-old intermediate, and he got put on this factory team. We started getting messages and comments on our social media accounts. This is actually a fake account here. This is old, but someone had continued to post on Eli's then team's page talking shit about a 5-year-old kid. Right. So, I was going to read off part of this. So this is the stuff that's completely unacceptable that happens. And I know it happens in motocross more, I'm sure. But I had sent a message saying, hey, why would you send me a Facebook request and then talk crap on my kid? And this person, who I later found out is a fake account because it was registered as saying that they worked for BMX News, which the gentleman, Mike Carruth, that owns BMX News, is a friend of mine, and I messaged him and said, what's the deal with this? And he said, that's not the actual guy. Because the guy whose name this is under is a previous BMX Olympian and is well known, only he doesn't have a Facebook account. So everyone that is friends with this guy thinks that they're friends with the Olympian, but it's a different guy. So, and this is in the worst English possible, so you have to give me a minute for me to try to understand what I'm reading. But it says, I know every parent wants the best for their kid. I understand that. But there are ways to promote your child that does not make you look stupid. Both does and stupid are misspelled there. The fact that your son is not good, the fact is your son is not that good to be on a factory team. I saw your picture with his jersey. A jersey does not make you a factory rider. Almost all factory teams have their riders under contract. Do you have that? My guess is no. Also, because you talk to the team owner or manager does not make you a factory rider. If you want to shut me up, then advance your kid in the expert class in Vegas. My kid is, you won't advance your son to expert because you're all talk or a sandbagger. So let me tell you about what happened in Vegas. Eli went out and won intermediate races. He went to the next race, won his final intermediate race, became an expert in the 5-year-old expert class, which is the unicorn class. At that time, there were only 5 expert racers in the United States, which I think included a kid in Puerto Rico in the age of 5. So in BMX, they have novice, intermediate, and expert. You advance by winning a certain number of races and a certain number of nationals in each level. Mike's looking at me like, okay, I guess.
Like motocross.
Yeah.
Except for
they forcibly advance you.
The expert?
Yes. But everything is sanctioned. Right. Everything is sanctioned.
Okay.
So we moved him to the 5X class. I mean, USA BMX had to move him because he had won his 5 national races. Well, then he's the 5X kid in the 6X class because he had to race up in age group against kids that are almost 7. He continued to do that. He only raced 5 expert one time. That was in Chula Vista, California, at the Olympic Training Center the weekend of Olympic trials last year. He won that class, clearly. But aside from that, he also won all the, well, not all, but a very good majority of the 6 expert classes that he entered. So as a 5-year-old, he was racing 6 expert and won.
Did you message the guy?
I don't think that I ever did.
Did you send him a podium picture? That's what you should have done.
I've thought of that a couple times.
Yeah.
But I blocked him, so I don't know if it would ever get
Not
through.
for that social media drama?
Yeah, no. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
So you were talking about earlier you're working on his sponsor thing?
I am.
Have you ever heard of Hook It?
That was the best segue ever.
You like that?
So, yeah, I feel like I'm really talking all about me, but I'm gonna.
You are our guest.
Thank you. At one point in my life, I was the number 1 athlete on Hook It, which was then Sponsor House. It was Sponsor House before it was Hook It.
Yeah.
So I was the number 1 athlete for endurance sports because I was doing Ironman distance triathlons at the time.
So, wait a minute.
What?
Hook It now? Do they still have all the other sports too?
I don't know.
Oh,
That
Jeffrey
was in
says yes.
2006, 2007.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on. Continue.
No, that's fine.
So you have, and you've been on top of Hook It.
I have been on top of Sponsor House. I can't speak for actual Hook It.
See, I've never made it anywhere on there other than I got one sponsorship in 2005 off of it.
Is it a big deal? Like, it's a big deal, right? So I had a sponsor. I was sponsored by 2 really great companies. One was trysports.com, which is an online retailer, and they have an actual brick and mortar store in Tucson, Arizona. Shameless plug. You know what? They took good care of me. That was 10 years ago. I was also sponsored by Fluid Recovery. Fluid took care of me and flew me out to California to race. That was the one sponsor that I ever really got something from that I got on Sponsor House. Try Sports. I don't know if they contacted me or if I contacted them, but they were a different pickup. But Fluid, they flew me to races. So, yeah, I guess it works.
I got a sponsorship from, it was like one of those dissolving tablets that you put in your water and it makes you better. I don't know what it was.
Did it work?
No, but that was 2005.
Okay.
To this day, I am still sponsored by them.
Oh, good.
Yes. And they continually send me emails congratulating me on my great results.
How are your results?
I was paralyzed racing motocross in 2006.
Well,
so
maybe that's for your thumbs for racing
RC cars.
Yeah.
They magically know.
They could know.
I have not logged on to Sponsor House /Hook It in I don't know how many years.
For the record, it's 1 index finger, or I'm sorry, 2 index fingers and 1 thumb to control the transmitter, correct?
You were doing it so good, too. I was like, wow, he's been doing his research.
No, that's all I wanted to say was transmitter.
Is it transmitter? Is it receiver? What are they?
No.
Remotes?
No. It is a radio.
A radio?
Yes. Radio. You just call it radio. That's it. It's like, oh, hey, hand me my radio. Not transmitter.
When I hear radio, I expect to hear some of the music that I went through this morning, thanks to Tucker's video that inspired me this morning. Did you see that? Oh, Sponsor House, sorry.
Sponsor House.
Hook It. Sponsor House. I don't know what it is.
Let's talk about it more.
I'm going to have to look it up because I haven't looked at it in a while.
Well, where I was going with that was, so Eli has nothing to do with Hook It /Sponsor House.
No. Does he have a Hook It? No.
Well, you say no like that's a bad thing, but you just got done saying you were the top of Hook It Sponsor House.
I was the top of Sponsor House 10 years ago.
Did you see that face she made right there?
No. My husband owns a marketing company.
Hook It?
No.
Book It.
2amarketing.com.
2amarketing.com.
2A, yeah.
Okay.
But, I'm okay with a little bit of the Adobe Creative Suite enough to be able to make a marketing deck. The deal with, to me, are they sponsoring your show?
No.
Okay. Mm-mm. So to me, that's great. It's like getting a whole one. It's like the MySpace thing. I don't know. Maybe there are a lot of sponsors that are doing something. There's a kid named Tristan Judd out of Texas who is a fantastic BMX racer, and he's got Trendon and Trevin are his little brothers, and I know Tristan is sponsored by Monster and is part of the Monster Army on Hook It, and I believe that he does well with that. Now, does that mean they talk about him a whole bunch, or does that mean they pay him or have an endorsement deal? I don't know.
So the Monster Army on Hook It is like a farm system to be part of the actual Monster Army. So like whenever you're on the Monster Army from Hook It, you're part of the quote unquote factory team. You get the free product and the swag and you're included on the Monster website under like the smallest, your name is, you just get your name in gray letters. But it's, if you become part of the Monster Army, that's a major foot in the door towards getting you down the road further to those better relationships that will end up paying you. But there's nobody landing paid deals off of Hook It. No. Hook It is solely for discounts, promos, and percentages off of product.
So Eli races for a factory team, and they cover all of, they give us the stuff. So either they've got the discounts or they do the promos for that. So, his team is getting him either to the people that he needs to get in front of as far as gear and, his bike and all of that, or they get it through them and it comes to Eli. Kind
of the same way that Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki, all of their riders wear Fox, and all of their riders use XYZ brands as part of the team package deal.
Correct.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so it's not necessarily, you guys don't really need Hook It. Hook It would just be it'd be a feather in the cap for Hook It to say that they've got Eli Staton, or however. So my deal with Hook It is I love it. I think it's fantastic. Now, I have to have a Hook It in order to redeem my KTM contingency. So that's the only way that I can get paid from KTM is by registering a Hook It account, because their KTM, so KTM has KTMcash.com. Their whole infrastructure is built off of the Hook It program. So you have to build a Hook It profile. You keep your information updated. It's a much more easy and seamless way for KTM to keep tabs, because Sal, the Indian dude, is not going to the amateur nationals like he used to.
Right.
The farm system and the eyes of the teams have become a lot more digital. So, naturally, everything has. So not only are they noticing what's going on in photos on Instagram and statuses on Facebook, etc., and off of general reputation, but they're also looking on Hook It for verified results. That's the easiest way, because a lot of the manufacturers are starting to use Hook It. So instead of, because riders suck at sending results in.
Sure.
That's just the nature of motocross racers. They're not good at submitting results. They're not good at resumes. So you've got this professional package where all you have to do is update your information, link it to your social, and then it automatically updates, and you get a score that is based on an algorithm in 3 different factors of audience, commitment, so how often you're riding and racing, and then performance. Those are the 3 key factors in your Hook It score. Hook It's awesome, because if it wasn't for Hook It, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have, like as far as like product. So, like mica metals, I have a hell of a deal just because of my Hook It score.
I want to look it up and see what they have for BMX too.
Well, it's there. They have BMX programs. It's surf, skate, snow, BMX, downhill. I think that they still have tri-sports. it's like every single sport has its individual Hook It program. So in motocross, there are 95 different companies that operate through Hook It.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how they do majority of their deals. So like I have a Rhino Power deal that they do all of their shit through Hook It, because what it does is it gets you so like instead of people sending resumes in that are, 15 pages tall and terrible, instead they just say, oh, we'll get on Hook It and we'll review your profile that way. Because then it's just, scrolling with 2 fingers. Okay, I see the results, so on and so forth. Looks great. We'll send this kid 45% off. And then it's 1 click, e-signature, I accept, boom, automated. You're part of the program. No sending back and forth, no negotiating, nothing like that. It just is what it is. It makes it a lot easier for the sponsors themselves to award deals to the riders and athletes. So we started talking about Hook It before I came in. Courtney, pass that mic to Mike. So we started talking about Hook It right whenever I came in. And this is also some juicy industry information. I have noticed, so I'm sponsored by Spy. And
really?
Yeah, through Hook It. I got my Spy deal with Hook It.
Hot dog. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Spy takes pretty good care of me. I've got a really heavy discount that I got through Hook It. Now, what I've noticed, because obviously on all of my social media posts, anytime there's a photo of me riding, you'll see that I tag all of my sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of them did I get not from Hook It, and that's one of them is Wiseco. Shout out, powerful Wiseco, powerful Tony Wink. But the
what's the second one?
Huh?
What's the second one?
I'm not going to disclose that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the other sponsors, like Unifilter. What's funny is I'm sponsored by both Uni and Twinner.
How is that possible?
Well, I'm sorry. No, Uni, Twinner, and No Toil, all 3, because they don't care who you're sponsored by. I don't think that the brands can see your other sponsors, who you're already endorsing. But the truth of the matter is, I buy Uni air filters, and then I use No Toil oil.
Twinner is just out of the picture. Did they even get a sticker on your bike?
No.
Nothing.
Mm-mm. Even though Twinner actually manufactures the OEM air filters for KTM.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But regardless, okay, so Spy. I thought I was really making waves with Spy. I got a good deal. I knew somebody that worked there, which, as in all of the motocross industry, they disappeared. And then I started noticing Spy literally never has liked or followed, and this irritates me to no end, has never liked or followed anything that I've ever done on Instagram. And I have tagged them, seriously, like I will go to their tagged photos. There are more photos of me in their tagged photos than any other person. They never like the photos. I don't understand how hard it is to simply like the photo that I'm tagging them in. So that's irritating. And they don't follow me, but I'm one of their sponsored athletes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily expect them to be like posting photos of me, but goddamn, at least follow someone that you're sponsoring. But that's not, okay, so that's not necessarily the point.
That was just a side rant.
That was just a side rant.
Yeah, nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No.
Okay.
Spy, I've noticed they've not been posting any advertisement whatsoever for motocross goggles. They just came out with a goggle, whatever their top of the line goggle is, the one that has it's got that outer, the outrigger frame type deal that all the brands are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
They put those out, sent them to the dealerships, and then had a recall within a month of all Spy Ace MX goggles.
What was the recall?
They were falling apart. while people were riding. Like literally the outrigger would pop off in the middle of motos.
Wow.
Yeah, from roost and stuff, it would just hit that and pop off.
You'd think somebody would test that.
Well, during tests, sure enough, they had the first, couple releases that they were having problems with the bands falling. You know how like they're held by a plastic clip in the back that adjusts the band? Those clips were breaking and falling apart. The goggles were just falling apart. Now, mind you, this is their top of the line goggle. And I have no problem throwing Spy under the bus, and I'll tell you why in a second. Their top of the line goggle got completely bought back. Not warranty, what was the word that I just said? Recalled.
Recall.
The whole line was recalled. They can't buy them online. They can't buy them in store. They're nowhere to be found. Come to find out, Spy, just like One Industries, was bought by an investment firm and went from a core motocross company to a sunglasses, so Spy sunglasses and Spy goggles, although they're the same brand, they're essentially two different companies. And the Spy sunglasses, they're more profitable than anything else because you go to every single Pac Sun, Sunglass Hut, you're going to find Spies. But you're not going to go to the mall and find motocross goggles. So that's understandable. Come to find out, Spy's dumping motocross altogether. They've had plans to do this for 3 years. And every time that they've went to just, lay it on the chopping block, some miracle of God will roll in where they can keep the program rolling for another couple months and then another couple months. But I've found that they're done. It's done. Spy's pulling out of motocross altogether.
Whoa. So what about all the big name guys running Spy?
Yeah, like who?
What, McGrath? No, he's Oakley now, isn't he? What is McGrath?
No, McGrath has part ownership in Spy. But, see, the thing was, he cashed his chips in. He was part of the reason that they sold the company to the investment firm. That's why Spy never posts motocross photos. They're simply surf and snowboarding. If you notice, look at their Instagram, they're out.
That's why they don't like you.
Every once in a while.
Because you're not on a surfboard.
Exactly. Every once in a while, they'll post a photo of Cole Seeley. And before him, they had Kevin Windham. Before him, it was McGrath.
Wow.
Yeah, the lineage.
How'd you find this out?
I can't give my sources on that one.
Okay, but you have a legit source?
A legitimate source, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So Spy's pulling out. All right, so I found that out. And I got on Hook It and started applying for all of the other goggle manufacturers because
I wanted some fresh goggles.
I was like, I want to be on board with a company that might actually possibly give a shit about me existing as part of their, support program.
Protecting your eyeballs with their goggles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the truth of the matter is, whenever it comes to ROI, return of investment, whenever it comes to ROI for what they want social media engagement. That's all that they want. They want me posting photos of me wearing their product and tagging them in it. That's the best way to directly correlate sales.
Did you find somebody?
I did. Von Zipper.
Von Zipper.
That's right. So I got a hellacious deal with Von Zipper, right? And I'm set with Von Zipper, right? So then, excitedly, I was, and what's funny is in my, on my Hook It profile, whenever I applied for a VZ, I told them I want to get away from Spy because you say, what sport are you applying for? You click motocross. Do you use our product? No. What makes you think that, or what makes you want to ride for Von Zipper? And I told him, I want to be part of a company that gives a shit about the sport that I'm part of.
I can guarantee you that's exactly what you typed too.
It is. No, it is.
Word for
you
word.
Should
that is
dude, my Hook It profile is hilarious. It's A+. So I told him, I want to be aligned with a company that gives a shit about the sport that I'm, dedicated to. Why would I want to, I told him, I was like, I know that Spy's been bought. I know that Spy's dumping their motocross program. I want to be part of a program, that's core. And I go look at their website. They've got killer new goggles. Really, really cool shit. They're obviously they're in motocross, right? So, I get a hold of my buddy that would know who is in charge of running the Hook It program and the athlete support program on for VZ. I messaged him like, hey, dude, who's my guy at VZ? Who can I thank? Because I was like, this is a really good deal. I want to personally thank them.
Can you disclose this deal? You have me curious.
No.
Okay.
60% off.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty damn good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to hit them up because that's the best deal I've ever had on goggles. Well, I take that back. I used to get Smiths for free, but that was whenever Smith was going out of motocross. Mm-hmm. Also, they just they were just sending me stuff. So I'm trying. I'm getting in contact with my guy. Hey, who's my dude at VZ? He's like, oh well. Actually, it's going to be hard for you to pinpoint somebody because right now the entire company is changing hands and they're getting out of motocross and they're clearing out their...
No!
And they're clearing out their entire stock of motocross product.
No.
So I didn't get a fucking Hook It deal. I got a clearance program.
No!
So whatever I buy from Von Zipper is the last of the Von Zipper product. They're not making motocross goggles again. Now, that's not 110% signed, sealed, and delivered, but from my understanding, they're in the same exact boat that Spy was in a couple years ago, where the moto goggles, they're just not doing a good job. And I'll tell you who fucked this up. Fox. Whenever Fox came in and debuted their new motocross goggle, they took a massive market share out. So now your main players are Fox, Oakley, Scott, 100%. 100% was also came in post Von Zipper, post Spy, post Dragon. Now, Dragon's doing all right because they're sunglasses and they have the freestyle motocross core group and they do snowboard goggles, but they're still dedicated to motocross. VZ's out. So whatever I get, wow. I mean, that's the thing is I'm like, okay, well, I can buy these badass frames and lenses, but whenever the well dries up,
that's it.
And there's no more lenses, there's no more frames, there's no more tear-offs, I got to do this all over again.
You're doing a terrible job of selling it Hook It right now because I feel like Hook It is like Big Lots, and it's like where all the excess stuff ends up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean...
That's pretty crazy, though.
That was...
2 deals in a row.
Yep, bad luck.
Maybe it's you. You tanked both of them.
It could be. I could be the reason these companies are going under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FYI, any manufacturer out there listening right now, if you
do not sponsor Jeff Crusher.
If you get a Hook It application from Jeff Crutcher, accept it and accept your death.
That's when you know you're going under.
Can I jump topics?
Absolutely. That's what we do here.
Accepting death.
Yeah. Who's dying? Eli Tomac.
Eli Tomac's chances at the championship. Did you watch the race last weekend?
Of course I did.
What is your initial... Okay. Wait a minute. Let me get my hot topics.
Everybody, Mike Garrison's over the bars for his hot topics.
Okay. First, before we get anywhere to Tomac and all that, did you see the carnage between Josh Grant and Malcolm Stewart?
Absolutely.
Okay, what is your take? Did Malcolm cross jump on Josh? I don't think so either.
Nope.
I think that Malcolm, physically, his bike went in that direction. Did he mean to? I don't think so.
No. But whenever you have a reputation for being squirrely, now Malcolm's not necessarily that squirrely, but he still holds his brother's reputation just by being his brother.
Isn't that terrible?
Well, it's the nature. It's the nature of the game.
Man. Yeah, it's a bummer, though.
So whenever you start off with that, you're on a short stick.
Yeah.
And Grant is not one to tolerate any foul play whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying that what Malcolm did... Okay, now here's the thing. If that would have been, let's say, Chad Reed... Yeah, Chad got squirrely. If it was Dungy, not known to do that kind of thing. But because it was Malcolm and he's the new guy in the 450 class and he has that,
persona.
Checkers or Wreckers type personality that also his brother had. Yeah, I understand Grant coming into that corner with the intention was to take out Malcolm. No questions.
He got her done.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
He got her done.
What do you think?
Okay, here's my thing with Josh Grant.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of like a freezy to me in the sense that on paper, if you write these things out,
Yeah.
he's not doing anything wrong, but it just seems weird that all of these major, like him and Alessia a few years back in the outdoors, and that kind of, he's always in it. He's always in the bad stuff.
Yeah.
There's only one common denominator there. So therefore, it just naturally, I don't know.
Do you feel like Grant is a dirty rider?
Yes.
Does that have anything to do with his former affiliation with Metal Militia?
I didn't even know he was affiliated with Metal Militia.
Are you kidding me? Yeah,
No.
no, he was like Metal Militia's golden boy for a long time.
Josh Grant?
Yes, his whole JGR Yamaha stint, and
Really?
before that even, he was like riding that golden ticket all the way to the chocolate factory.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, see, I think, okay, remember he won some Supercrosses?
He won
A Supercross.
No, he won the 250 Lights Coast.
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking 450.
He's won a couple.
Yeah, he's won a couple. Won an outdoor too.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, he took the Glen Helen Mountains straight down from there.
He is a rank and file foreman of motocross. He's just like Justin Brayton. That man is there to collect a paycheck. He is not worried about getting race wins.
Yeah, but the problem is Justin Brayton doesn't do dumb moves that take people out.
Say dumb shit. Say dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm just...
He doesn't do dumb things on the dirt bike. Yeah.
Well, he does do dumb things too, but...
Well, they all do. That's part of it.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, he knows he's on the way down, so it's like he's trying to slow his roller coaster down by breaking into other people.
Do you know the story of Josh Grant's financial troubles?
Yeah, I heard about it. Well, where his mom took his money and all
Robbed
that.
him.
Yeah.
Robbed him blind.
What does that got to do with taking out Malcolm Stewart?
Well, you were talking about his...
Does his mom look like
no,
Malcolm?
No, you were talking... She might. He might. They might. I don't know. It's 2017. I can't be gender specific.
True.
What I was saying is you were talking about how Grant is apparently just riding it out as long as he can. Well, wouldn't you too?
No, I don't blame you for that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's other ways to go about it. Justin Brayton is a perfect example.
Yeah.
He's never, in my opinion, anything that happens or may happen, like a takeout with him, was not necessarily intentional. It was just racing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Grant does things to just be malicious.
Yeah.
Metal malicious.
What's your next hot topic?
These two go inside. Did you see, I don't even know who it was, the guy that crashes in the whoop section rides the whoops backwards.
Oh, that was Ronnie Stewart.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was. 606, baby.
See, I was out of town this weekend, so I was watching it on the TV and I couldn't hear who it was.
Oh, okay.
He should know better.
But
did he get fined or anything like that?
No, but here's the thing.
Okay.
He crashed in the same manner that Savachi did.
That's where I'm headed with this.
Okay, so if he would have, now the question is, if he would have done that and just turned around on the whoops,
Yep.
would he have been fined? No. But that was also a non-qualifying position for the main that was going on in.
That's true. Now, this is what I was going to ask you. Savachi does the exact same thing
Right.
in terms of crashing where he crashes. Had Savachi ran down the whoops backwards, I guarantee you his fine would have been double what Ronnie Stewart didn't get fined, and I'm sure somehow he would have got docked more.
I think you have a instance where a section promotes no ability to safely re-enter the track. And that rule needs to be more about the spirit of the rule than a hard rule.
Yeah. Now, I will admit, though, if you watch Savachi, I don't think he did not do it on purpose. I think he just totally brain farted.
Yeah.
But what he did there, he was all he had to do was just pull right back into the rhythm section.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was just so in the zone or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think he did it on purpose, but he did, you can't do that. In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He could have rode down. I understand it's a thin lane, but he could have rode down to the corner or stopped and, I don't know, let those guys go. I don't know what he could have done.
On the other hand, we're also talking about a professional rider that has the ability to judge what the other riders are going to do and know that he's taking safe measures into hand.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone was going to ride down the whoops backwards safely, it would be Ronnie Stewart.
Yeah.
Not only, can I just go ahead and plug, not only is he riding down the whoops safely backwards, but he's paying his rent and building his credit at the same time.
Okay.
That's his title sponsor, PRBC, pay rent, build credit.
Oh, see, I didn't get the joke because I don't know that much about Ronnie Stewart.
I do. Can I tell you why?
Maybe. Okay, go ahead.
He actually fielded a second rider for the last four or five races of the Supercross series.
Mm-hmm.
None other than Arlington, Texas's own Cheyenne Harmon. You don't know who Cheyenne is?
Nope.
That's fine. Cheyenne's a privateer rider. I'm a huge fan of Cheyenne's because I met him whenever he was doing the Arena Cross series and was gaining a lot of momentum to get his Supercross license. And Cheyenne actually, are you ready for this? Enlisted me to do a custom helmet wrap for Vegas.
Really?
On an Arai. And it is unlike any other Vegas-themed product that anybody has ever come out with. It is the most fucking badass helmet wrap I've ever done. And it's for Cheyenne for Vegas.
Will Cheyenne make the main in Vegas?
Not likely.
Way to support your boy.
It's not that. It's just the truth of the matter is that it could happen through an LCQ.
Okay. Fair enough. Show a little love.
Here's the thing. It's smart for Cheyenne to go to the races in the 450 class. And
he's riding 450.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, no,
okay.
he's in the 450 class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If he was on the 250, I mean, he qualified for X, arbitrary number of mains this year in the 250 class.
Oh, okay.
But I think he realized and had the opportunity to race the 450 with Ronnie's team. And in the process, everything is paid for.
Mm-hmm.
It's his bike, but he gets all the support that Ronnie's team does. He gets to fly to the races for free. I mean, I don't know this for sure.
Yeah.
So, but everything is paid for. And then on top of that, Cheyenne's guaranteed to make the night show. Now, off of his speed, and B, nobody's been showing up to the races, and almost everyone's making it in.
Yeah.
But
except Ronnie.
If you make it into the night show in the 450 class, it's like $1,400 just to get last place in the LCQ.
So for him to go out and get $1,400 for, what is there, 17 rounds? 17 rounds?
Yeah.
Literally, he's showing up.
That's all you have to do is show up. That's why
for
Chad.
$17,000.
That's why Chad Cook. Now, I'm not going to say that's why Bubba Pauly races the 450 class, but because in my opinion, Bubba's a premier class rider. He rides the 450 better than the 250. He needs to be on that bike. It's fitting for him. It just also happens to be the smarter class for him to race.
Mm-hmm.
All of these guys are starting to realize, fuck the 250 class and results. I want to go race or ride practice and get paid and go home. Sure, it costs, but the thing is, nobody that's going and qualifying for the night show consistently and not making the main in the 450 class is paying to be there. Someone else is paying for them to fly there, for them to eat, for them, their transportation costs are paid for. So all they have to do is just show up, rank and file, collect the paycheck. It's smart.
It is smart.
Can't argue with it.
Okay, so back to Savacci.
Yeah.
Savacci now is tied with Osborne in second, with Jordan Smith first in points.
Is that verified? I thought that it was 160, 159, 158. I thought that the point of Savacci's fine was to put him in third place in the championship.
Okay, you might be right. Okay, regardless.
Right.
They're within Now it comes down to Vegas. That's a big deal.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on it being the East-West shootout? And they are not awarded points by how they finish against their fellow West riders.
But just in general. I think it's awesome. I want it to be the wild goddamn West. Seriously.
Do you think there'll be a spoiler that changes the whole thing up?
Easily could be. You're including another, okay, well, let's say it was just the top 10 fastest guys from each coast.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you're still talking about 10 wild cards.
Yep.
Because the top 10 in points from the other coast are easily top 5 material.
Yep.
5 of them are win material.
Yep.
Once again, it would not be the Over the Bars podcast if the phone didn't ring.
You saw me turn that off, too.
I don't understand. I'll allow you to take care of that. Go.
Back to Savachi. East Coast. So who do you think's going to win Vegas?
I don't know. Honestly, it's
your pick. 250. Go.
If I just had to pick one,
anybody.
Zach Osborne.
Really?
Yep.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me tell you 2 reasons.
Okay.
Number 1, steel frame.
Okay.
Hard pack track.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of Huskies and KTMs at the front of the pack for that race. Number 2, Zach is a seasoned veteran. He's very good at what he does.
Yes.
And he's my guy's guy.
Oh, he is.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm going with Plessinger.
Good selection.
Mm-hmm.
Strong selection.
Yeah. And I think Plessinger's finish will somehow play a big part. Whether he wins or not, I don't know why. I just got that gut vibe.
Yeah.
His finish will play a big part in how the West Coast unfolds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easily could.
Yep.
Who else? What else do you have for?
You want my next one?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Let's see. What do we have next in line here? Okay. Well, we talked about Savachi, so let's just talk about it. Let's start with Tomac.
The choke artist.
Okay.
He is.
I was okay. I was okay with everything that happened, and I understood, man, I'm just having a bad race. He came up short, not on the triple. He came up short, not jumping the triple, but trying to double the triple.
What?
What I'm saying here is, even Michael Lessie can make it to the triple to come up short on the triple.
Yeah.
Eli Tomac didn't even make it to the double.
Yeah. That was rough.
That was real rough. That was the point. At that point right there, I was like, it's over.
For sure.
Yeah. Before that, I was like, yeah, he's looking a little rough, but he's okay.
I love how many people on Vital are just roasting Kawasaki for not having an electric start. Seriously. Can you imagine? Okay, number 1, majority of those guys don't have slipper clutches, but have the recluse clutch in.
Right.
To where they are...
I wouldn't say majority. You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Majority of those bikes, even the guys that are sponsored by Henson, the guys that are sponsored by Henson, they're still running the auto clutch.
Really?
Solely for the reason of whenever the bike falls, it doesn't die.
Yeah, stays running.
That's all that it does.
Have you ever ridden with a recluse clutch?
I did, and I didn't like it.
Okay. See, whenever I got back riding, I obviously had to have one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as weird as I thought it was going to be. It was a little weird if you were like trying to wring it out a little bit.
Right.
Like the one I had kind of did a shutter bug.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm sorry, we're off topic. Go back.
What was the topic?
Well, you caught me off guard by saying that most of those guys run a recluse style clutch.
Yeah. I was saying that Tomac didn't have electric start.
Yes.
But really, how could Kawasaki not have an electric start on the bike? I don't understand.
Suzuki doesn't have one. Yamaha doesn't have one.
Yamaha does.
They have electric start?
Yes. Both Chad
and
Cooper and Fevra have them, but they're so small and the battery is so small, they're good for one turn only. So they don't crank them when it,
Yeah.
unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Fevre's bike, I believe, doesn't have a Kickstarter altogether. I think that his is completely e-start. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Monster Energy Kawasaki does not have their latest insurance policy to cover fire damage at their warehouse, and therefore that's why they don't want electric start.
I think you're reaching pretty far for that one.
I'm just trying to help them out.
Hey, I'm with you.
I'm
Go
a fan.
ahead.
Okay, anyway. So, do you think Tomac will recover? Do you think he'll come back this week, the Tomac of the week before? Or do you think he's done?
In order for Tomac to win, it's a 9-point separation.
Mm-hmm.
In order for Tomac to win, to win the championship, he has to win, and then Dungey has to
Get fifth.
Let's see. Oh, do you already know?
I think it's fifth, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. In his last
Well,
5 years, how many times has he been off of the podium? 1?
that's true. Do you think we'll transition here into the whole Marvin Muscan thing?
Can I just say very quickly, however,
Yeah.
we still line them up and we still race. Anything can happen.
Yes.
On to Marvin.
On to Marvin. And Marvin's Brock let Brock by moment.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it?
I would have done the same exact thing. He's not in title contention.
Now, would you have done a Bob Hanna, or would you have done just a Marvin Muscan? I don't know if he did this or not, but would you have told KTM, hey, you owe me for the win because I would have won that race?
I think...
And if Dungey wins a championship, do they owe Muscan for that championship? Because he won it for Dungey.
No, I don't think... Okay. I believe that he did get compensated financially. But I don't believe there's anything beyond that. What the difference is...
He did get a contract renewal the next day.
Yeah. No, he got the contract renewal the day before. He signed the new contract on Friday.
It was published on Racer X or something the day after.
Okay.
That's where I got that.
Right. That makes sense. So, I mean, who wouldn't have done the same thing in the same exact shoes?
I can't speak if I was in these same exact shoes, but I can speak as an outsider.
Okay.
If I was winning a Supercross race,
Yeah.
I don't care who's behind me or what their points championship's doing. I don't care about my points championship at that point. I'm going to win.
What if Marvin knows that he's retiring? What if Marvin knows this is Ryan's last Supercross season? This is his second to last Supercross race. Screw it. I'm going to let him get his now. And then he, poof, disappears off into the sunset. And then it's the Marvin and Eli show.
So you think maybe, like, because they train together, you're getting all sentimental here, and, like, maybe they're buddies. And he's like, you know what?
They are buddies. They're teammates. They're training partners.
Yeah.
They're practically neighbors, and they are not best friends, but best of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about, and now here's the thing.
Now you're throwing a whole other monkey wrench in there, because I wouldn't let you go by, but if it were anybody else and we were on that level, I might let them go by.
Okay, wow. That's rude. Now here's the thing. Perhaps it was never discussed.
That's the other thing I've thought about myself was that just a instinct thing for Marvin to do?
It could have been. It easily could have been.
I take that back, because if you listen to Roger, well, he didn't say, though, it's been discussed, but if you listen to Roger's interview afterwards, Roger says, hey, yeah, I think Marvin was more concerned about Ryan's race than his own, blah, 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 blah.
But
he basically...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Now, the people that are fighting, trying to say, no, Marvin did not pull over, that was a legitimate mistake.
No,
that was
he did.
That was not a legitimate mistake.
That was an intentional mistake.
Yes.
He could have done a better job of selling it.
Yeah, he was a terrible actor.
Yeah,
just awful.
But in the process, now let's say that. See, the thing is, Marvin gets fined. Marvin gets docked championship points. Whatever.
Yes.
Who cares?
And
they're not gonna take points away from Dungey.
No.
Because he was the benefactor. But it honestly, I think in that situation, it really needs go without saying. Everybody knows in that pit, it's kind of the nod and the wink and the gentleman's agreement. They're teammates. That's what you're supposed to do with each other. And also, I don't think that Marvin knew where Eli was at. Take that into consideration.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he thought that Eli was right behind Ryan. There's no telling. Now, obviously, he can look at the leaderboard.
Which he did. He took a long look at that leaderboard.
Yeah, but, it's...
But yes, I get the point you're trying to make.
Yeah.
Will Kawasaki come out next week, and will they have some team tactics, you think?
I don't think so. No, because if they did, the team tactics that would require Grant to do something to Dungey would be beyond unsportsmanlike. Grant would have to pull what he did to Mookie on Ryan.
Now, okay,
and I don't think that was batting practice for this weekend.
Okay, now wait a second. Let's step outside of Team Kawasaki.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Eli's biggest sponsor aside from Kawasaki?
Monster.
Correct.
Chad Reed.
Correct.
See, but that's the thing. Chad and Ryan are boys. Even though that they had that little thing happen,
What do you mean they're boys?
It's hard to... It's lonely at the top. There's only so many guys that have been in their situations.
Chad is not at the top.
He used to be.
That was like when Dungey was first born.
Okay. Though you do have a valid point, there are only so many champions in the 450 class.
Okay.
And whenever you are at either...
So they have an unwritten friendship because they're both champions.
It's like the presidents of America.
Yeah, I don't think that Donald Trump is friends with Barack Obama, but I understand what you're saying.
No, but there's only 3 other people that are alive that know what it's like to be Donald Trump right now. You see where I'm going with that?
That's a fun fact that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing another one in there.
Yeah.
There you are with your diggers.
So it's kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, it's a gentleman's club.
So you don't think that Reed would, even though some would argue that he's already played a part in the championship, you don't think that he would block?
No, I don't think that he would. I think he's above that. And plus, I'm sure that John Gallagher was like, listen, if you ever do anything like that again, I will throw the black flag through your front wheel.
He's already done that to him.
Well, it
not through the front wheel, but he's thrown it at him.
Yeah, I know.
And only him.
Him and only him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other hot topics?
I really don't.
That was it.
That was it.
We're right at the threshold of an hour 45.
Perfect.
We did great.
We did.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Courtney, is there anything I saw while we were going through this? You were hooketing.
I was indeed hooketing. I decided, since I was kind of talking about something that I didn't really know, I should probably take a look. I've already clicked away from the screen. They got me for $12 because I had to join because there had to be an adult in order to run Eli's membership. So I went ahead and signed up for the premium edition. They've got a good marketing plan there. You have to input a credit card in order to activate your account immediately, either for $1.95 or for $12. So
right,
I spent the $12.
Why not?
Yeah. So Eli has a Hookit account now.
I feel like I should get a check from Hookit.
You should. Yes.
$12.
$12.
That I will then give back to you.
There are, what was it? What did we see? 45?
54 different companies in BMX.
54 companies. About 6 of those already sponsor Eli. And several of those are, several of the other 54, what would that be? The remaining 48? Yes, I can do math.
I wasn't listening on what the actual number was.
I'm not so sure how I feel about the other ones. So it'll be interesting to look at. It definitely looks as though it is more of a social club than it appears to be actual sponsorship resumes.
I understand what you're saying.
One thing I did find interesting, though, is when I put it in, or put in his name, it allowed me to go through and claim his results.
I saw you doing that, yeah. So they were already auto-uploaded into the system. You just had to claim those.
Yeah, the kids won a lot.
I know. I saw a lot
Did
of
you
first
see
places.
all those?
Yeah.
First.
Isn't that amazing how it's already in the Hookit system?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So the way that ABA or
It's USA BMX now.
USA BMX does that is every single one of their sanctioned races, the results are then posted on their website or their results platform, and then are auto-uploaded from there into the Hookit database, and then you just claim the results.
Right.
So that's like the Missouri State Series, same exact deal. I don't even have to post that I got those places from Kingsville 2 weeks ago. I just get on after the results are posted on the trackside program from Missouri State and then claim them.
What I was claiming were all national results.
Okay, yeah.
But that's what I did notice is that's all that listed were national results.
Interesting. Well, maybe it's slightly different, but it's also anything that pays contingency has to be uploaded through Hookit,
Right,
or is uploaded by Hookit.
We're ready for the contingency money to start rolling in.
Let that continue. Oh, are there contingency programs for BMX racers?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
There might be for the A pros, the elites.
If I had to bet, I'd say it's the same thing as RC car racing, where you're talking about defined win bonuses, not contingency programs. Like if I go buy a Crouppy and get real good.
Let's buy a Supercross.
If I'm going to go buy a Supercross and I get real good and just start showing up to the races on my Supercross is not going to send me a $250 check for getting a win in my age group expert class just because I'm winning on a Supercross, a registered Supercross bike.
Correct.
Supercross is the name of a bicycle company.
I know. That's confusing, isn't it?
What was the first one?
Crouppy, Crupi.
Crouppy.
Yeah.
A Crouppy.
Crouppy, yeah.
Like Hoopty?
Hoop D was a mongoose bicycle.
Like a Huffy? Is a Crouppy the same as a Huffy?
No.
Would it be the equivalent of a Huffy?
Not even.
Do you buy Croupies at Walmart?
You can buy the Crouppy at Kmart, not Walmart. I'm kidding.
Crouppy.
No, it's just a silly name. I think it's Italian.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's Italian or not.
But
I didn't take Italian.
Yeah, but the point is,
Maybe it was
that there probably aren't any incentive programs like that.
I don't think so.
Fly, however, probably does have one.
Fly is a fantastic company.
Are you guys sponsored by Fly?
Yes, we are. Shout out to Matt Baisley, who is also on Full Tilt. Yep. Nope. I've said shout out. Let me tell you what happened to this guy.
Not only did you shout him out, but you dropped his name. Is he the rider support guy?
I don't know.
He just works for Fly.
I don't know what his role is. I think his.
Okay.
I want to say it's like his dad or stepdad owns Fly, but regardless. So he rides for Full Tilt, which is Eli's race team.
Yeah.
We're down in Austin, Texas for the Lone Star Nationals, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. They all run together now. So we're in Texas. Guy wins his class race, which I believe was the 28 to 35 expert race on Sunday. He comes across the line, goes down the finish chute, and they're hauling balls when they come across the line.
Yeah.
And this is a grown man racing a bicycle, so it's not a 40-pound kid or 80-pound kid. It's a grown man. He turns around and looks behind him, I think, to see how people finished. Well, they've been trying to clear out the finish chute all day because people were walking across the chute. He either clips a kid or narrowly misses clipping a kid, but in the process lays his bike down, and I believe he caught his ankle in between his cranks and the frame, snapped it clean over. Like foot around backwards. After taking the win. Anything that could be wrong with his foot and ankle. Eric, my husband, was standing right there, and he came running over to grab our team owner to tell her, hey, help Matt. And she's like, no, Matt's fine. He just finished. He's like, no, he's down. Like the screaming you hear is Matt.
Yeah. Brutal.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Did you see the guy at the Kingsville State race that did that?
With his ankle?
No. He won and then lawn darted the finish line?
No.
Oh, he talk about over the bars. I wish I knew his name. We'd give him a shout out right now. He did us so proud. Grabbed that checkered flag. He was pumped too. Like he came up to it. You know when like you do they do the squat and they're gonna pull up on the bike.
Yep.
He had the best squat into pull up into huckabuck up and over the bar. He slayed the finish line.
Oh my God! 2-stroke or 4-stroke?
4-stroke.
Go 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 go.
He didn't even panic grab. That was he did it the last minute.
Courtney just showed me the photo of that guy's ankle. It is completely toasted.
Oh, I'm gonna pass out. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Well, Michael Garrison, that's 2 hours of over the bars.
I'm feeling it.
Now, to wrap up the show, we're going to hear from Scott Gebken and the innovative MX riding tip of the week.
There it is, Scotty G.
What anything you'd like to promote? What do you got coming up this weekend? Anything like that?
You know what? Nothing this weekend other than the fact that it's final Supercross of the year. And I'm doing my little live from the living room on Facebook.
Yeah.
People should go watch it.
Are you going to announce at Casey Moto on Sunday for this Missouri State Series?
No. I was planning on it, and I forgot that we have family plans.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes.
That's fair enough.
We were planning on it.
I will be at Casey Moto defending my red plate for the Missouri State Series 250A Expert Pro class.
Your headphones just popped off. They're way too small for that head as it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger as you talk.
Goddamn right they are. Man, did it get tight in here? Or?
Right.
Cool. So, yeah, I'll be there. And then I kind of have a blown open schedule. I'm not going to do any other races in the rest of May. My girlfriend and I are moving in together.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
You just now dropped that on purpose because you know we're out of time. Otherwise, we could go on and on about this.
Well,
I never thought I would ever see the day that you were like in love, like Jeffy in love. And it happened.
Yeah, she got me.
Wow.
Now, the best part is for those of
You saw the pictures, right? Everybody see the pictures?
Me?
I know you saw
I
it.
saw the pictures. I was in the picture. You saw the
Did you
pictures of me and Aubrey.
Did you see their
didn't you?
pictures?
Oh, we're good.
Their
We look
pictures are good.
So, true story, just for the whole world out there, I met my girlfriend on Tinder.
You swiped right.
Yes, I did. I sure did. Yep.
There you go.
Our first date was brunch at Union Station.
Brunch.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you take
At Union Station?
You take a nice lady out to a nice brunch.
To a nice brunch. I feel like...
Michael just got roasted with a capital R.
And I got my headphones on, so I couldn't hear a word.
Yeah, so
you're moving in?
Yeah, but it's not until August whenever we're going to move in together, but we're doing all of the preparatory work now so it can be done now and then smoothly transition into...
Are you moving into your place?
No.
Or a totally different place?
We're getting a totally brand new place.
Can you have dogs there?
No, there will be no dogs.
Why do you keep picking these terrible places?
I got to pet a bunch of dogs today, so I'm good.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is, and because I've been racing a lot lately, I do have to understand that the pendulum swings both ways. Aubrey comes to all my races. I, a couple weeks ago, she's a Special Olympics coach.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I went to one of her meets and watched her coach and got to meet a bunch of her athletes. Fantastic people. The whole time, all that I could think about is like, wow, I am such a piece of shit because I don't even know how much weight I can lift. And here there are people with, mental disabilities that are, squatting 700 pounds. Seriously.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No, they're unbelievable how strong these athletes are.
So she has a lot going on in May.
She has a lot going on in May. Well, the season's wrapped up, but she's going to start training for another triathlon this year.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. And the thing is, she's new to motocross. I don't want to burn her out by the end of spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go racing every weekend.
Once you guys are moved in together, it's like she can't get away as easy. So it's like, then you can burn her out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then she doesn't, she can be burned out, but she's still got to live with me.
That's right.
Strategy, Michael.
Strategy.
I'd like to think I'm smart.
I'd like to think that too, but we all know better.
Courtney, would you like to say anything before we end the show? Into that microphone.
I like Aubrey.
Anything about Not My Girlfriend?
I really like Aubrey.
Anything about BMX? Where you guys going racing this weekend?
Hey, I don't want to have any more babies, but
it's all on you.
You and Aubrey can have babies.
Nope. It's not happening.
He's got his eyes closed and he's facing away from me because he knew where this was going.
Yeah. No children. She doesn't want kids either.
Yeah, I didn't either. Remember?
Well, there's this thing that I have. It's called company insurance. And they also cover vasectomies. And I'm saving up for it. So there will be no children.
Yeah.
You've got plenty. And then her sister has 2 kids. Or has a kid and is going to have another child. So we're stocked to the gills.
There's a lot of babies that need homes.
This is not good radio right now.
Your apartment can't have dogs, but it can have kids.
Oh my God. That's it. We're done.
Hailing from the eastern Kansas City suburb of Green Valley, on the innovative MX training number 308 Donnell Suzuki, Scott Gebken.
Hey guys, Scott Gebken with Innovative MX here on the OTB podcast to give you this week's riding tip. We're going to talk about preparation through the week, into the weekend to get you ready for the races. And most of the time, all of you guys are doing your gym work or you're riding during the week, going practicing, riding at your private track, whatever it is. That, you know, everybody has their own thing that they do or they try to do. What I'm going to talk to you about today is how you handle that and how you go about that. So each day that you're going to the gym or you're going to the practice track, you've got to go there with a plan. You've got to have it lined out before you get started, before you get there, before you get going. Because for one, you'll be more efficient, you'll have way better use of your time, and along with that, you'll be able to get the most out of each session. Your productivity will be way higher. So if you're at the practice track, you want to, hey, I'm going to do a 10-minute warm-up. Then after that 10-minute warm-up, I'm going to do 3 15-minute motos, or I'm going to do sprints, or I'm going to do starts, or whatever. I'm going to work this back section, or whatever it is. That's what you need to have lined out before you get to the track. Hey, I'm going to do lap times today, so I need to have somebody with me to run the stopwatch, or whatever it is. You need to have that rolling into that. So the same thing goes for the gym. If you're not, say you can't get any riding during the week, you're working too much, or you've got school, or the weather's been bad, like it's been raining so much lately, what you've got to do is you've got to go to the gym. You've got to have a plan for the gym. Hey, I'm going to work my legs the most today. Hey, I'm going to do a full body circuit workout. I'm going to just do cardio today, or I'm going to go for a road bike ride. And no matter what it is that you're going to do for that, you've got to have a workout, a plan lined out for that, just as if you were going to the practice track to do your riding. So that's what I'm talking about today. That's your riding tip for this week on the OTB podcast. Just go to the track, go to the gym. When you get there with a plan. Before you get there, have your plan put together, have it ready to go. So when it's time to put in the work, you put in the work. It's the same thing the pros do every week, every day, every week. And so you should be doing it too. So Scott Gebken with Innovative MX. Give me a shout. Give me a shout out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow it, like it, all the above. That's this week's riding tip on the OTB podcast. Thanks for listening.